Today we have to solve Ielts writing task 1. I've made many videos on Ielts writing task 2, but this is my first time making a lesson on Ielts writing task 1. So this is the data of line graph, and don't ever get confused between pie chart, table or line graph. The main thing is just to translate the data. In Ielts exam, they just give you data and you just have to translate the data in English. So don't get confused with line graph, pie chart or table. The main thing is just to see the trend, whether it's upward trend or downward trend, and then just write it in words, okay? Okay, the golden formula to write a band 9 academic report is memorize these 6 band 9 phrases. The main thing in Ielts writing task 1 is that we have to show a trend, that whether the trend is increasing, decreasing or unchanged. So just memorize the 6 band 9 phrases. If it's decreasing rapidly, the band 9 phrase to describe it is graph surged rapidly in 2020. If it's slow increase, data increased gradually over the period. Gradually is a band 9 advanced word, so data increased gradually over the period. Stable, data showed minor fluctuations over the given time frame. And then another trend is decreasing trend. If it's decreasing rapidly, sales plummeted rapidly in 2011. Just memorize these phrases. These are the advanced band 9 phrases, and you just memorize it, because the main thing to show in task 1 is just describing the trend, and trend is always either describing or decreasing or moderate. So just memorize these phrases to describe it. If it's slow decrease, data showed a gradual decline. Stable, sales fell at a steady rate. If it's slow, always say gradual decline, gradually increase gradually over the period, gradual decline. If it's stable, data showed minor fluctuations, sales fell at a steady rate, sales fell at a steady rate. Moderate, remain unchanged. Data showed slight fluctuations, data showed minor fluctuations. Minor fluctuation is a very Ielts friendly word. Ielts examiners love these two words, minor fluctuations. They will easily make you score band 9. So always use, if it's a moderate trend, then always say minor fluctuations or moderate slight fluctuations. These are very Ielts examiner phrases. Sales showed minimal variations. Okay, if the trend is moderate, say sales showed minimal variations, or the data showed slight fluctuations, minor fluctuations. If it's decreasing at a stable rate, sales fell at a steady rate, data showed a gradual decline. If it's slow, then you say gradual, data increased gradually over the period. If it was increasing slowly, then say increase gradually over the given time frame. If it was decreasing slowly, say showed a gradual decline. It was declining gradually, showed a gradual decline. If it was increasing rapidly, graph surged in 2022, or you can say graph showed a dramatic increase, rose dramatically, showed a dramatic increase, rose dramatically, or surged or soar. Okay, and if decreasing rapidly, then you can say sales plummeted rapidly or plummeted dramatically. Now I will write an essay. Report. I just want to show you that if you know the structure, then you can write very quickly. That's why I'm writing live for you guys, to just show that if you know the structure, if you know the phrases, then you can write very quickly and easily. To prove this point, I will just write it live for you guys. Okay, let's have a quick look at the data. Okay, now let's start beginning. Let's begin writing. The line graph. You already know the structure, that first we have to write a paragraph describing describing the line graph, describing what we have to show, the line graph, and then we have to give, in second paragraph we have to give the overview, and then in third and fourth paragraph we have to actually give precise specific details, specific numberings of the data. Because mostly students who are giving Ielts, they already know this basic thing. That's why I'm not teaching that in detail, because people already know that. The line graph below, illustrates. Don't write show, write illustrate. Illustrate is a academically advanced word, so write illustrate instead of showing. The line graph below illustrates the number of students enrolling in an online course Now first paragraph is done. Now we have to give overview. In overview, we just have to give we have to just describe that whether the trend is upward or downward or moderate. We don't have to give specific numbers, just describing the trend. So let's have a quick look at the trend. In 2015, it was 200, then it increased in 2016. In 2017, it declined again slightly, and then it rose again in 2018, and then it reached and then it's reached its climax at 2019, and after that it remained unchanged. Overall, the easiest way to start your second paragraph is to begin it with this word, overall. Overall, the data showed a generally upward trend. A generally upward trend. Upward trend. It increased in the first year. It increased in the first year, then showed slight decline, rose again, and remained stable at the end, It was my overview. Overview means just give the picture. Just give the overall picture of the data. In overview, we just have to give the overall picture of the data. That just if the data is increasing, decreasing, and at what point it was decreasing, at what point it reached to its climax. Just give this picture without giving the specific numbers. Remain stable at the end, and now we have to, in third paragraph we actually have to provide the specific numbers, specific data. The figure started at 200 in 2015. The figure started at 200 in 2015. It increased in the following year. By 300. Then it showed a gradual decline, because it was a slow decline. So we will say it gradual decline. That it showed a gradual decline by falling to 250 in 2017. Then it surged because it increased to 400, because it increased to from 2050 to 400 is an impressive increase. So we will say surge. Surge means impressive increase. Then it surged to 400. Then it surged to 400 in 2018 and continued its upward trend by reaching its peak at 450 in 2019. Afterwards, it remained stable. Please tell me in the comments that whether my lesson was helpful or not, because I promise you, I just can't explain you how difficult it is to make these videos and lessons. Because I'm not a technology oriented person. To make these videos and uploading them videos on YouTube requires tremendous amount of hard work. So please be kind. Please, for God's sake, tell me in the comments whether my lessons are helpful or not. Please. I'm genuinely curious to know, and it will encourage me to make more videos. The line graph below illustrates the number of students enrolling in an online course. Overall, the data showed a generally upward trend. It increased in the first year, then showed slight decline, rose again, and remained stable at the end. The figure started at 200 in 2015. It increased in the following year by 300. Then it showed gradual decline by falling to 250 in 2017. Then it surged to 400 in 2018 and continued its upward trend by climbing to its peak at 450 in 2019. Afterward, it remained stable. It is a band 8 academic report. My point was just to prove that if you don't memorize sentences, memorize the structure. Memorize these 6 band 9 phrases, memorize the structure, and then it will be very easy for you to write a band 8 report. Okay? Hope my lesson was helpful. Stay tuned if you're serious about scoring band 9. Thank you.